everyone, Alexandra here. So today I'll cover a couple of the latest updates in terms of the user experience in FlowPaper. So one of the things you might want to do with any kind of ebook, white paper, magazine you have digitally is to actually make sure that people have a realistic experience when they look through it. So now, right off the bat, when people receive and start looking through their magazine, they're going to get this realistic pop-up of literally placing the magazine, if you will, on top of a natural material. So it can be like a concrete table in this case, or any other kind of material. And the whole point behind this is to really kind of mimic a real life experience of, you taking the magazine and looking through it somewhere in real life in an actual place. Now this again adds extra realism to the experience, so people get kind of like this 3D looking like magazine as opposed to, just having to scroll through what otherwise would look like a simple PDF file. And you can just select this option whenever you upload a new magazine and publish it. Now added to the realism is this new way of actually going through the pages. So all you have to do is use your mouse and kind of like drag back and forth, just like you would normally use your hands to go through a magazine, as opposed to simply using the arrows on the left. So again, this kind of mimics the flipping of the pages you would have in real life, and you can even see what's on the next page with like a small preview before you actually see the entire content. Now another new feature we have is this balloon slider at the bottom, which is related again to how people consume the content, how they're going to read your magazine or PDF or ebook. And essentially this allows them to kind of get a preview of what's on a page. So this is perfect if you have perhaps a book that's broken into different chapters. Like on one side you might be selling something via a catalog, while on the second half you might just have some, description of your product, or maybe like a magazine type of articles and so on. So this allows people to skip to the section they're interested in, and this does not take up a lot of space. And like I said, people can just go directly to the section they're interested in. Now finally, another new feature is related to the way people can zoom into your content to get a better look at the text, the photos you have, the products you're displaying. So normally what you can do is you just double click on a page where you want to get a better look at the product. So for example, let's just take this example, and let's say I want a better look at the coffee in here. I'm just going to double click on this page, and what happens now is you have this rectangle on the left, which allows you to kind of like go through the entire magazine for a more hands-on look, if you will. And again, if you just double click again, readers will be taken back to the normal kind of magazine. And this works with any page, any content you have in here. If it's text, this is going to be just like a magnifier glass that lets people kind of, if you don't have the best vision like I do, this is perfect, because otherwise it would be like, me trying to be like super close to the screen just to kind of see the text. But this way, it's literally super simple. You're just going to double click on it, move the rectangle if needed, or what I do is I just normally kind of move around, because this is very intuitive. This is what you would do with a regular magazine, right? So yeah, this is it for the changes this time in FlowPaper. Head over to the link in the description to give it a try. Create your own magazine, upload it. You can add the realistic feel to it with the concrete background or whatever you want to pick. And try this with your readers just to see if, to grasp their feedback, so to say. Have a nice day.